gray matter here. And reviewing, the gray matter is divided into how many laminae? Remember, our practicals have side questions. Side questions would refer to your knowledge sa lecture. It will always ask questions related to structures, and of course, it will be based on also on lectures. So, how many rexed laminae? 9? 10. There are 10 rexed laminae that are scattered within the doors, within the gray matter. 10 rexed laminae. And we said the gray matter is divided into 3 regions. And the 3 regions will contain the laminae. What are the 3 regions? Dorsal horn, ventral horn, and intermediate zone. Always remember that. So, gray matter is divided into 3 major regions: dorsal horn, ventral horn, intermediate zone, and they are different, or they are distinct in terms of function. Dorsal horn is sensory, and therefore that is where the dorsal root enters. It's sensory and afferent. The ventral root, on the other hand, is motor and efferent. The intermediate zone is autonomic in function. So, in the intermediate zone, you will find the nuclei associated with your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system kasi it is autonomic. Pwede bang buksan yung aircon? Wala. So, is that clear? So, we have 3 zones: dorsal, ventral, intermediate, and then scattered in the zones are the rexed laminae. And ano yung tinuro sa inyo sa lecture? Rexed lamina 1 to 6 is in the dorsal horn, therefore it is sensory. Rexed lamina 8 and 9 will be in the ventral horn, therefore it is motor. Rexed lamina 10 surrounds the central gray, and rexed lamina 7 is in the intermediate zone, therefore it must be autonomic in function. Is that clear? Now, yung mga rexed laminae 1 to 10, each rexed laminae will contain specific nuclei. No? Like for example, rexed lamina 2, ano siya? Substantia gelatinosa, and it's actually sensory, no? Specifically pain and temperature. Now, rexed lamina 9, for example, in the ventral horn contains your motor neurons, the origin of your ventral root. Kaya final common pathway to the muscles will be the alpha motor neurons in lamina 9. How about lamina 7? We said lamina 7 is intermediate zone. Here, I have listed the 4 nuclei in lamina 7, such that you have the intermediolateral cell column at thoracolumbar segments, T1 to L2. Therefore, it is the origin of your sympathetic outflow. Alright? IML, intermediolateral. The intermediomedial cell column, medial to the lateral. So, kung ito yung intermediolateral cell column, medial to it, we have the intermediomedial cell column. Also at T1 to L2. So, yung intermediolateral, sympathetic efferent, intermediomedial is your afferent. Pag yung mga papasok, pumupunta sa intermediomedial instead of the lateral. So, they are both associated with your sympathetic nervous system. At the sacral cord segment, you have the sacral autonomic nucleus in that same position, pero nasa sacral segment, and that is the origin of your parasympathetic efferent, preganglionic efferent. And the last but not the least is the dorsal nucleus of Clark. The dorsal nucleus of Clark is actually the exception kasi it is not autonomic. It is lamina 7, but it is not autonomic. It is actually sensory, no? And it is associated with unconscious proprioception. meaning position sense, which is not consciously perceived, no? Kasi, position sense ng muscles can actually be related only as far as the cerebellum is concerned para mag-adjust so that you don't, you maintain your balance. So this is for non-conscious proprioception, dorsal nucleus of Clarke. So if you were to summarize the gray matter has three major zones. Dorsal horn is sensory afferent, ventral horn is motor efferent, and intermediate zone is autonomic. The laminae scattered within the zones. Dorsal horn is rexed lamina 1 to 6 plus the dorsal nucleus of Clarke. So the dorsal nucleus of Clarke is sensory. Therefore, it must belong to the dorsal horn. However, it is not rexed. It is rexed lamina 7. So one nucleus of lamina 7 is here in this area. That's the dorsal nucleus of Clarke. So lamina 1 to 6 plus the dorsal nucleus of Clarke of 7 is dorsal horn. Therefore, it is sensory. And then rexed lamina 8 and 9 is ventral horn, motor. And the remaining 3 nuclei of rexed lamina 7 is intermediate zone, autonomic. And of course, rexed lamina 10 surrounds the central brain. Is that clear? Now, what makes up the white matter between the dorsal median sulcus and dorsolateral sulcus? You have your dorsal column. So these are the things that you should identify. Dorsal horn, ventral horn, intermediate zone, dorsal column, or dorsal funiculus. Okay. Between the dorsal median and dorsolateral sulcus, dorsal column or dorsal...
Yeah.
Yes. Sila na ba?